Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? What's up, guys? Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you guys are having a great day. Let me know if you guys have any questions about buying, selling, or refinancing a home. We're just getting started here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you guys are having a great morning. For those of you guys that don't know me, my name is John Kambs. I've been a mortgage loan originator for 25 years. Every day, help people refinance, buy homes. That's awesome, Jacob. Congratulations. Is Guaranteed Rate Affinity a good lender? Well, considering I work for Guaranteed Rate, the actual Guaranteed Rate Affinity is a subsidiary of Guaranteed Rate. So yes, they are a great lender, Johnny boy. Nicole, I can help in all 50 states. Let me know if you guys have any questions. If you guys could do me a favor, double click that screen. Helps get people in here. And if you don't mind following me, if you're finding value in the live, that would be great. Do you need help, Nicole, or what do you do? Are you a real estate agent, Nicole? Current rate today is going to be anywhere from like 6.25 to call it 5.5, depending on whether you pay points or not. Okay, so you've been saving up, but think it's better to rent than start the mortgage at the moment. It really just depends. What are you trying to do? I would say if you're not prepared to hold a property, meaning like, uh, you're not prepared, you think you might want to sell it, or you're transient, you feel like you might want to move, then I would hold off. But if you're prepared to hold a property for 5 years minimum, ideally 10, then I think it is prudent to buy a home. What state are you in, R? Viviana, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. You're looking to buy into buying properties to invest in, maybe flip or rent out, definitely this year. Awesome, Nicole. Yeah, I would love to help you. I have lots of experience doing that. We have lots of fix and flip programs that can help you do that. So when you're ready, I'd love to help you. Just reach out to me whenever you're ready. So you're in New York and you want to get on the property ladder for sure. Okay. Yeah, well, R, if you need help just determining whether or not it makes sense, I'd be happy to do an analysis with you. No pressure. If you do my digital application here, we can get you pre-approved. There's no cost or obligation. We can help, but I can help in all 50 states, and we can get you pre-approved, give you all the numbers, and help you make that decision. What is the lowest credit score you will work with to purchase a home? Technically 500 if you have 10% down, Savara, but that comes with a litany of if, ands, and buts. If you have poor credit, I would recommend going to my profile. I have a video that says, are you trying to buy a home but have poor credit? It's pinned to the top. If you watch that video, it goes over all the caveats. But if you want to get pre-approved or see if it's something I can do, if you're under 580, again, you need 10% down. And that a lot of times is a sticking point for people who have under a 580. But if you go here, I can get you on a plan. We have an amazing credit repair. We have an amazing, it's not credit repair, it's a credit plan that we can put you on. It's totally for free. Don't pay for credit repair, guys. It's a scam. Yeah, 620 is what I would say is like where you can pretty much buy a home and have no problems, Nicole. But you can go under 620 with compensating factors, down payment. If you're under a 580, then you're going to need a 10% down payment for an FHA loan. About how long does it take to close on a home? That's different with every lender, Johnny boy, but we're extremely fast. I can close the fastest you can close legally is 8 days. And we can pull that off, but I would say standard is like 30 to 45 days. Can you explain what the NACA program is? Yeah, it's a down payment assistance / grant program for first-time homebuyers to help you get into a home. Do I need to wait 6 months to refinance? It depends who's GOLO. If you're in an FHA loan and you're going to refinance to another FHA loan, then yes. But if you are in a conventional loan, then no. And if you're a VA loan, yes, you do need to wait 6 months if you're going to do a VA IRRRL. I want to sell one of my houses. How much does it cost? So John, I always tell people to account for 8%. That's basically anywhere from 8 to 9%. So it depends on what you negotiate with the listing agent. But if the listing agent, if you agree to pay 5% or 6% commission, and then I would account for 3% for closing costs. What's my favorite type of loan? Conventional. Is there a way you can take over your mother-in-law's mortgage? Probably not. That's what they call that assuming the mortgage, and it has to be like either an FHA or VA loan, and it's very hard to get done. What are interest rates at? Right now, 6.25% to 5.5%, depending on whether or not you're paying points. I have an FHA loan at 6.65%. Is it worth it to refinance at this point? I don't think it is, Diago. Unless you could refinance into a conventional loan, then it could make a lot of sense. But if you're trying to do a streamline, which you FHA borrowers are very, you're basically mercilessly marketed to. So I would say no. If you're trying to do an FHA streamline, no, it doesn't make any sense. For me, it is so hard to find lender with low credit score below 580. We will do that, Cho. But like I said earlier, it's there's a lot of ifs, ands, and buts if you're under a 580. And like I said, you need 10% down. And you can argue if you have 10% down, you're better off using that 10% to get your score above a 580. But question, I have approximately 200K equity. Do you recommend I get a HELOC or a home equity loan? I mean, there's 6 of one, half dozen of the other, James. It just really depends on what your goals are. An equity line people like because they can have an open line. They don't have to pay on it unless they utilize it. Where a home equity loan is going to fund all in one at the day that it funds, you need to pay it back monthly, and then you can't redraw on it. I have a VA loan and want to refinance to a conventional loan. That's awesome. Who's Gallo? I'd be happy to help you. I don't know why you want to do that. You'd be better off just doing a interest rate reduction refinance loan, unless you're trying to free up your entitlement. Then that could make some sense. James Ochoa, want to buy a second home. That's awesome, James. I specialize in investment properties, second homes. So that is something to maybe clarify. Like when you say you want to buy a second home, are you like, is it a true second home, like a vacation home? Or are you is it a primary residence? Like you're gonna just go buy, you're gonna move out of your current home and live in a new home and have a second home? Or is it an investment property? If I own a duplex and have renters pay that mortgage, can I get a loan to build a house? Yeah, you can. I'm in an FHA for 4+ years and I'm at 5.7 with great credit. Is it worth it going to conventional? I think it could be, Razzie Rose. How much is the property worth? Do you have 20% equity in it? Why do you work too hard for 40,000 a year? Not sure what that means. What will rates be in a year? Your guess? I would say mid fives. I have 10% down. Where should I apply it to? Yeah, so if you go here, Cho 392. If you go here, take a screenshot of this. There's also a link in my profile. We only do a softball on your credit report. No cost, no obligation. Once that's complete, you'll get a text and an email from me to hop on a call. Yeah, Razzie Rose, I would say that it could potentially make sense for you to refinance, especially, do you have any, like if, what do you owe and what do you think it's worth? What's a good deposit on a $150,000 home? Want to buy as a rental property? So as a rental property, you're going to need 20% down. How long does underwriting take? Depends. With us, it's about a day, but some people take anywhere from like 3 to 5 days. I own a house worth 200,000. I want to buy a new home. Which loan is the best for me? Juan, it just really depends on your credit, your down payment, and your assets. I'm sorry, your credit, your down payment, and your income. But based on what you're telling me, I would say just generally speaking, the best loan is conventional, guys. 199 worth 220, 230. Yeah, so Razzie Rose, I think it could make sense, but it's like definitely a borderline makes sense. Like if you're okay with the payment going up slightly, but you get to remove the PMI because right now your mortgage insurance premium that you pay monthly in your FHA loan will never go away. Where if you go to a conventional loan, even if the rate's a little bit higher, you could argue that the PMI on a conventional loan will fall off eventually. Yes, we do double wides as well. Joe, thank you for sharing the live. I really appreciate that. Usually if it goes to underwriting, it's because everything looks good for approval, right? Yeah, usually. So I would assume, Almay, you got pre-approved. The pre-approval process really is the loan officer, if they're a good loan officer, they're not going to pre-approve you if they think that there's going to be a potential issue in underwriting. If you have the opportunity to pay off your house early, should I or invest money into a rental? I would say either invest money into a rental or even just a well-diversified investment account, like your 401k, right? If I get a HELOC now, will that borrowing power lower if houses go down in 6 months? No, not necessarily. There are, like, I remember during the crash, there were HELOC that would HELOC lenders that like cut the loan amount. So, but I would say it's not something I'd be worried about. 80K down on a 400K barn dough, build on 6 acres of equity. How we looking? Eli Mack, unfortunately, I can't help with barn doughs, but I would say that that does sound good for, you got the 20% down, which is good. How to find and buy an abandoned property in Alabama. Work with a real estate agent. I have a $2 million shore home. I owe 500K, adjustable loan at 3.5, coming due June of 2027. What are my options? Oh, JJ Gold, obviously you can just refinance to a conventional loan right now, and you'd probably be like just under 6%. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm pretty sure that like if you had a adjustable loan, I would look at your adjustment cap. Is the adjustment cap usually the first adjustment cap on an adjustable loan is either 5 or 2. So if you're at 2, then the most it can go up to is 5.5. But if you're at 5, the most it can go up to is 8.5. So if you want me to look at getting you refinanced into a conventional loan, which I do think eventually you should just do, then if you do my digital application here, I can, like I said, we only do a soft point on your credit report, no cost, no obligation. And I'd love to help you, or shoot me direct message, or you can also just book a call with me in my profile links, or you go here and book a call with me. Cho, thank you for the follow. Mortgage loan officers provide no value to transaction. So how are you supposed to get a mortgage, Drewby? My mortgage rate is 6.8. You think it's time to refinance? Yes, I do think if you're over 6.75, you should be exploring refinancing. Thanks again for tuning in, guys. If you just tuned in, my name is John. I've been doing mortgages for 25 years. Let me know if you guys have any questions about buying, selling, or refinancing a home. How to bring down your monthly mortgage. You would need to refinance. What advice do you have for new home buyers? Get pre-approved with a good lender that, number one, is responsive, that's easy to get a hold of, goes over everything, gives you multiple options, somebody that you're comfortable with. I would also say, obviously, save your money. Don't incur any new debts. Don't buy a car. If you already own the home, the advice I would say is also you're going to get a ton of junk mail when you first buy a home. It's all junk mail. Like they'll make it look like it's from the lender. Also, I would say, Johnny boy, when you buy a home, you got to pay attention to your escrow account or your taxes and your insurance. They tend to go up.